Okay, I thought I'd go over a process how I did these. But polished the fins. Now the fins here had some pretty deep gouges in them across the surface here. So I just took those to the belt sander, took a little bit of material off to get them to where they didn't have like dents in them, not even dents, kind of like divots in there. And then sanded them down, finer sandpaper and finer sandpaper until I got them to where they were fairly polished up. Used thinking it up, sanded them with 1500 grit, and then started polishing them. And on both sides of these, on this area here and on this one, it had gouges where it had been dropped, and didn't crack it or anything. Didn't crack it, but it had gouges in there on both sides, meaning that they took the valve covers off and flipped them upside down. And then they dropped it again, which after 42 years, it's going to happen. That's a pretty tall bike. Stuff happens. But did that. And then what I did after I polished them, I taped on the outside here, along these edge fins right here, these outer fins, and painted the red. And I didn't wipe the paint off with my finger, which I've done before. And I always have problems with it because you can't get it all of it off, and then you're using lacquer thinner to try and get it, and the lacquer thinner hits the paint that's under there, and it just doesn't go well. So kind of half cured it under heat lamp, let it dry, half cured it under heat lamp, and then you just use a razor blade to scrape the paint off. The paint come right off because it doesn't want to stick to a polished surface. Then after that was done, I taped these centers back up. Just taped there to there, trimmed the tape off, and then shot the black on here. And I did have to work on these to get them even, because after I shot paint on it, you could see every little mark where I'd missed sanding epoxy down. But overall, they turned out pretty good, I think. A lot better than they did look. But let me show you this. Hold on. So what I did on there, that's the starter cover. Originally, I was going to do this in black and then just do the letters in red. But I got to looking at it, and I thought, man, that'd probably look pretty good with the polished, embossed letters there. And it did turn out pretty good. And then did the cover over there, the timing cover. I didn't polish it anywhere. It's just straight up black and red. Red stripe and then black on the outsides. And I still need to pull the timing cover off here and paint it while I have it off to check the cam chain and cam chain tensioner. And really, that's about it. We're getting ready to put the pistons on there and start working on the cylinder heads some more. Still got to port those, do a valve job, and we'll be moving right along this winter. Not in any hurry. I still have a lot of little areas. Everything you touch on a bike, you're there and you're like, well, while I'm doing this, I better do this. And it's got some, it's 1984, so it's got some areas that need attention to it. And you don't need to know that really. I've still got to do the headlight and relocate the electronics out of the headlight, which I'll probably do make a little electronics box up under the tank somewhere instead of running that stuff back in the headlight. We'll see. Haven't decided yet. I did change the bars on here. Took the fairing off, of course. It really, putting the lower bars on there, it really helped this thing out as far as just moving it around and getting that extra weight off the front end there. The fairing and the fairing stay and all this stuff is pretty heavy. And I still have to, I don't know what I'm going to do with those forks. They're not horrible, but they actually don't really match the paint on the rest of the stuff. So I may or may not paint those. Haven't really decided yet, but we'll see. And still have to do the. Well, I still have a lot of stuff to do on this thing. It's looking pretty ragged up under with the seat off, and swing arm needs some attention. And got to pull that diff off the rear and make sure that thing's all right. I know I got to replace the seal on it because brake shoes are always wet with gear oil. So I have a seal, but need to pull it apart, check the bearings on it. Going to leave the gauges the way they are because they do work. Well, speedo works. The odometer doesn't work, but I don't know if I'm going to send that out to get fixed or not. Don't know yet. And I still have to reline the gas tank because it was pretty ugly in there. And probably ditch them turn signals in the back there. Put something a little bit smaller. We'll see. I am going to pull the transmission off, check the clutch out, and while I got the clutch out, I'm going to pull the oil pump and give it a once over. Make sure the surface is flat in there and check the gears and whatever. There shouldn't be a problem, but why not? I'm trying to reorganize in here while we're waiting on the ground to be ready over there. Still have to do grading before we even order the building. And still haven't decided on which size building yet. I know I'd originally said a 30 by 50, but might go with something a little bit different. I do have a 18 by 21 that I can use for storage that I can put up further down the lot there. Just for excess storage, parts and whatever bikes I could go in there. And we might go 30 by 50, might go 40 by 40, might go 30 by 70. Don't know. 30 by 60 maybe. And height-wise, I don't know. I kind of didn't want a really tall one, but the more I got to thinking about it, I thought, you know what? Maybe I should do instead of a 12-foot, maybe I should do a 14. So we'll see. Put some new tops on here. These were just shelves that I used modified into benches, and they actually do work pretty good. And then I got to do the tabletop on the other table over there. That thing's bad. That table over there, it's all bowed in the center. I'm going to pull that off there, or reinforce it really, and fix it up. And we'll get over there in the new building when we get over there. It's like it's not a hurry, but it is a hurry, It's just nicer having stuff done where you got room to move around and organize stuff, or it ain't packed, everything packed into a small space. And, I don't know. I got the oil pan off of this thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with the oil pan. I got to think, maybe I should paint it. Maybe I should just leave it plain aluminum. I don't know. It had a little bit of sludge in there. It wasn't horrible. Pickup screen was clean for the oil pump pickup. But as far as I'll probably leave the oil pan the way it is. It's not like you can really see it. This ain't a show bike, really. I don't know what I'm going to do with the paint on this thing either. I might just leave it like this for now. Well, I am leaving it like this for now. Hadn't really thought about it much. about changing the color, because this color actually does look pretty neat. It's not great. It's got a little damage here and there to the tank. I can't even say damage. We'll just say character marks. But what I'm worried about is when I go to strip the liner out, that I'm going to damage the tank. Not if. It is, the tank is going to get damaged. Paint will come right off of that thing, because they have to use pretty harsh chemicals to get the liner out. And no matter how careful you think you're being, you're gonna get something on the paint there, and it's gonna lift at least in a couple of spots. Not a big deal. Everything's repairable and fixable, but you know, I'm not really interested in repainting it at this time. Mainly because I'm not a good painter as far as body work goes. Never have been. I know people who can, but I think I might be trying my hand at doing some painting here. I got a couple of junk tanks around here that I can practice on, and we'll see how those go. Got detail gun. I've got a regular full size paint gun. Just we'll try it. If we fail, we fail. If we fail, we'll try it again until we get it right. That's just the way it goes. Just because you're bad at something doesn't mean you can't learn to do it. Anyway, that's enough of that talk. You guys all have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Really appreciate it. We'll get back. Like I said, I still have to do cylinder heads. So I still have a lot of shit to do to this thing. So we'll go along as we go along. And here I'm already thinking about other projects. And I've already got 2 more. I've got that one to get back on. And I got that 883 out there that's going to need a front head gaskets leaking. And I've already got the shift fork. I need to replace the shift fork, first gear shift fork on it. But, you know, time will tell. Anyway, you guys take care. Thanks for watching. Take care.